Hi, my name is Derek Humphreys. I'm Developer Engagement Lead here at MasterCard. In this video, I'd like to show you one of our use cases around open banking, particularly around, it's usually called account aggregation, but I'll show you how to actually apply that to a particular use case that's interesting. Before I dive straight in, you see Postman open before me. There's already videos should be linked in the description that are done previous to this that actually show you how to get your account set up, get access to your credentials, get authenticated against the API, install your Postman collection and do all of that, as well as creating test transactions. And there's other videos as well that show other use cases and how to execute them. But this one, we're going to jump straight in. If you look at the video to catch back up again, but this one's going to just jump into how to use particular endpoints to implement one of the use cases. So by account aggregation, what we generally mean is pulling, obviously, information from one or more accounts so that you can execute something against them. Some of the common ones you hear out there, like budgeting apps and testing to see if somebody has sufficient funds in their account or what their cash flow is like. But there's a use case I like, which is you often hear about people using rounding up, the ability to round up your transactions by a couple of cents, and then using that either for savings or maybe making a charitable donation. But it's often hard to get people to do that because they don't really see the impact or value in that. They don't really see what changing or charging a couple of cents here and there would make much of a difference. But you can, through open banking, go into someone's bank account once they've authenticated and granted you the token to do that. You can go into their past transactions, pull their past transactions out, look at all those payment transactions, round them up, and then show them what the total value of how much they could have saved or possibly donated to charity by those past transactions. And it really helps uh, people understand the value of doing a little bit on every transaction, how it adds up very quickly over a short space of time. So we're in Postman here. We have already had the customer in a previous video authenticate themselves with their bank. They've gone into their bank accounts and they've selected which bank accounts they want to give us access to. They've submitted that, and then through our token, we can now access those bank account details on behalf of that customer. So I'm going to start off by getting a list of the accounts that have been granted access to it. Here we go. Again, I'm piggybacking the customer ID that we already set up and configured in the previous video. And we're just going to get send and get a list of the accounts. So that customer had a range of accounts, but they granted us access to three accounts. Let's say our credit card account, the savings account, and the checking account. So I'm going to grab the checking account ID. I'm going to go into our environment variables and replace this. In previous videos, I've been jumping around trying different accounts. So what I want to do here is I want to be able to pull the past transactions from that account so that I can, in this case, sum up the values or round up the values and show them the difference. So if I go into their transactions endpoint, I can get all customer account transactions. So this will, for this customer ID and the account ID variable I just added, it'll give me a list of all the transactions for the past 6 months. So straight off, this particular one gives you a 6-month snapshot of all the transactions. And I can go then through and see all the transactions that are available to me. And then for each one, I can see the amount, I can see the merchant, so I can start deciding how I want to round them up. There's another report here as well, which you can actually execute, which actually will allow you to uh, get the past 24 months of transactions. So you can go further back if you want, but this one here just quickly shows you the past 6 months. And with this, you could actually pull this across multiple accounts. They can be your checking, your savings, and other accounts. If you're going beyond just this donations use case, you can pull them from loan accounts and everywhere else. So that's the beauty of account aggregation. You can also pull them from multiple banks. The user who went in can actually specify more than one bank if they have accounts across multiple banks, and then you can bring all that information into one app to be able to do things with them that actually add value to the customer by aggregating the accounts across multiple banks into one place. So hope you enjoyed this video. It shows you how simple and easy it is to actually execute and integrate with this API. There are other videos in this series that take you from the very start of integrating with the API and implement a number of different use cases. And there's follow-on videos that actually show you how to execute this in code using Python and Java. So thank you again for your time. Bye.